is Miss Kathy. I'm the children's librarian at the Miami Township Library, and I brought a friend to share with you today. This is my caterpillar puppet. You might recognize it from Eric Carle's story, The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Now, you might already know something about a caterpillar. Do you know what it changes into? When a caterpillar eats a lot of food, it spins something called a cocoon, or it could be called a chrysalis, and it spends some time waiting in that cocoon. And what comes out? Do you know? A beautiful, what do we have here? Butterfly. It's almost like magic. It's a completely different looking animal. Did you know that colors can change like that too? They can change to look completely different when they mix together. I have a song about that I'd like to share with you. And the first colors that we're going to mix in our song are red and blue. Do you know what color that's going to make? Let's find out. My song goes like this. The reds were unhappy, the blues were too. They wanted to be the same, but what could they do? They each grabbed a partner and twirled round and round. And then they turned purple and fell to the ground. Did you say that red plus blue equals purple? Very good. All right, did you see the motions I made in my song? I shrugged and went like this, and then we mixed the colors. And then you can actually fall down if you want to. I'm just gonna go down like this. Now we're gonna do it 2 more times, so you can do it along with me as well if you'd like. Our next 2 colors are yellow and red. What does that make? The yellows were unhappy. The reds were too. They wanted to be the same, but what could they do? They each grabbed a partner and twirled round and round. And then they turned orange and fell to the ground. Did you say that yellow plus red makes orange? Very good. All right, our last 2 colors are blue and yellow. The blues were unhappy. The yellows were too. They wanted to be the same, but what could they do? They each grabbed a partner and twirled round and round. And then they turned green and fell to the ground. Blue plus yellow makes green. Very nice. Thank you for doing that song with me. Now, those colors became happy because they were all the same in the end. But as people, we would not want to all be the same. It would be a pretty boring world if everyone was just alike. But because we're different, sometimes we have conflicts and sometimes we have arguments. Have you ever been in an argument with someone? That's what happens to the 2 children in the book that I'm going to share with you today. Our book is titled Blocks, Let's Share by Irene Dickson. Okay, so you see on the cover of our book, we're going to be focusing on colors in this book, the colors red and blue. Do you see how that's up in the title here too? And then when we open up to our end pages here, there are all kinds of blocks. Have you ever played with blocks? That can be a lot of fun. Let's begin our story. Ruby has red blocks. Ruby builds with her red blocks. Oh, who's coming here? Another character in our story. Benji has blue blocks. Benji builds with his blue blocks. Now, are Ruby and Benji playing together or separately? And how do you think they're feeling right now? Benji wants one of Ruby's red blocks. Uh-oh, do you think he's going to take that block? How do you think Ruby feels right now? How do you think Benji feels? Benji takes Ruby's red block. Oh, he did take it. Did he ask her if he could have that red block? He did not. How do you think she feels about that? Give that back, says Ruby. No, says Benji. Oh, wow. I think right now they both feel the same way, and that is angry. Crash! Oh no, what happened? All of the blocks fell over. Oh dear. Oh, I'm sorry, says Benji. What can I do? Ruby thinks. Do you think she's going to figure out how to make this better? Well, says Ruby, you can share. Are Ruby and Benji playing together or separately here? And how do you think they're feeling now? They're building a magnificent tower, aren't they? Guy has green blocks. What will they do now? Oh, here comes our next character with green blocks. And that is the end of our story. So we have to decide, what will they do now? What do you think? All right, I want to go back to one page in our book and I want to ask you a question. Let's see, which page was it? This one. Now, when all the blocks fell over, at that point in the story, we had a problem. Who was the character in our book that solved the problem? Was it Ruby or was it Benji? Who made things better? If you said it was Ruby, you are right. If you said it was Benji, you are also right. They both made things better. Now, Ruby made things better because she thought of the solution to share, didn't she? But what did Benji do to make things better? He did something very important. First of all, he said, I'm sorry. That means that Benji realized that he did something wrong. And then he said, what can I do? And he gave Ruby time to think about it and think of a solution. And Benji was willing to be part of the solution that she thought of. So Benji had a big part in making things better too. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about our story is how many emotions Benji and Ruby experienced during our story. They felt a lot of ways, didn't they? Have you ever felt any of those ways? They felt some anger and sadness. They felt content and happy too. One thing that human beings have in common is that we all feel emotions, and this is good because this means we can understand each other. And the other thing that's really good to know about emotions is that they can change so quickly. 1 minute, just like a caterpillar turns into a butterfly and looks completely different, 1 minute you might feel angry, and the next minute it might seem all better and you're happy and excited, and that's okay. Now, to finish out today, I just want to do one more fun color changing experiment. And for this one, I have some yellow water. I made this water yellow with some yellow food coloring. I also have blue food coloring here. I'm going to mix those two colors together so we can see what happens. Do you remember what color yellow and blue make? Let's find out. Put in a few drops. Let me hold it so you can see. What color is that turning? Let's mix it up. It is a beautiful green. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful day, everyone.